Is the sound now working? Thank you, Jake Morton Brown. Right, I shall start again. Jim Garfield says yes as well. Great. I really apologise for that. I wondered why there wasn't many people watching. Right, we'll start again. This is the John Gaunt Show. I'm live from my daughter's kitchen. Just a slight technical hitch there. Richard Pope says the sound's great now, and somebody else is saying it's fine as well. So thank you very hammered, absolutely hammered. Starmer. Starmer wasn't even there. He was too busy seeing his chum, Zelensky, and giving away more of your money to Zelensky. Have we not given that little pipsqueak enough? And then he said, I want to thank the people, the British people, and Starmer for standing with us. I don't think the British people are standing with you, mate. We've had enough of it. Let's get some peace, for God's sake. Anyway, back to Donald Trump. He launched this blistering attack on Keir Starmer from the White House. He warned that Britain and even Europe will be finished if Starmer continues with his current immigration policies and his energy policies. He just simply can't understand why the UK is refusing to drill, baby, drill for North Sea oil. We've got loads of it. Meanwhile, Norway, our neighbour, they're in there taking the oil, and to add insult to injury, they're then flogging it to us. It's our bloody oil. How mad is this? This is the lunatic Ed Miliband's policy. Him and his windmills. Where? There. They're on the stairs. Sat there. That's what he's doing. He's a lunatic. Trump is not happy. Not happy whatsoever. He took aim at the BBC as well, because they're now trying to countersue Trump. But they fiddled the tape. We all know they're done. Hook, line, and sinker. But they're part of the problem, says Trump. But he really tore into our immigration failures. He can't understand why we're letting, or why Starmer's letting, all those TikTok and flip-flop warriors get out of their dinghies at Dover. He invokes the spirit of Winston Churchill because, of course, Winston Churchill, the bust of Winston Churchill is back in the White House, in the Oval Office. It was taken out by Barack Obama. I don't know why. I suppose he couldn't stand the thought of a strong leader being in the same room as him. But it's been put back in there, mainly because Trump asked Raheem Kassam on his first term of office, would you like it back? When he was there with Farage, and Raheem said yes, so in it went. But basically, again today, Trump said, problem you've got, he was talking to the Irish Premier, he said, Britain has got a leader that is no Winston Churchill. He had another go at Starmer. Starmer, meanwhile, because he's now an irrelevance to Trump, is busy meeting his best chum, Zelensky, and offering millions more of our money. So here's the big question. Is Trump actually more in touch with the British public than Starmer? I would suggest he is. I think people are fed up of the BBC. I think people are fed up of the illegal immigration at Dover, the flip-flop warriors, and legal migration. There's just too much of it. And fed up of being called a racist, if you dare bring that up. And what's the third thing they're fed up of? They're fed up of the fact our petrol and our oil and our gas and our electricity is going to go through the roof because Starmer wants to give money to Zelensky but won't send warships to make sure the tankers can get through the straits. It just doesn't add up, even if you're against war. And I've had all the libtards having a go at me again today on Twitter about that. I don't care. Do you want to starve? Do you want to freeze? Do you want to go back to the 70s? Because that's where we're heading with Starmer. The guy is pig ignorant and he's so arrogant. And not only that, Trump is now threatening to pull out of NATO. So when we do get invaded by the Russians or the Chinese or wherever it is, we won't be able to call on America. Do you remember the coalition of the useless? The only way that can work is if Trump gives the money, gives the troops. And do you think he's going to do this while Starmer continues like this? So here's my questions. Is Starmer getting it badly or wrong on immigration? Shouldn't take you long to answer that one. Should Britain be drilling, drill, baby, drill, like Norway, who are taking the oil, then to add insult to injury, are flogging it back to us? But it's probably our oil. How big a part are the BBC playing in all this? And who really speaks for the British people? Drop your thoughts in the comments and we'll come to them in just a couple of moments. I do apologise for the sound problems at the beginning. I need you to get involved. This is a big show tonight, coming live from the heart of a little village in Oxfordshire. Let's have your opinion. Is Starmer killing Britain? Is Donald Trump right? Is NATO finished? Why is he giving money to Zelensky rather than protecting our boats in the Straits and getting the oil to our country? This isn't about warmongering. I mean, I think we should back Trump 100% on this. But people today were saying to me, you're a warmonger. Are you going to send your kids, you morons, coming out with nonsense like that? The bottom line is there won't be British lives lost. Or if there are, there will be a minimal amount. Probably the same amount as when Iran put some more money into another terrorist organization, like they have done on 20 attacks directly linked to Iran. People would rather that, would they? They would rather that, would they, than actually stand up and rule the waves with our two boats. Your opinion, please. So, Donald Trump has basically said that we cannot continue like this. There won't be a Britain left. He actually said there won't be a Europe left. He said no Britain, and then like the Pistols, no future. He's asking, Trump, the question millions of you who are already shouting at your TV screens every night, why on earth are we refusing to drill for our own oil in the North Sea while Norway is getting rich next door? He had a go at the BBC. Basically said they were biased and he's going to take them to the cleaners. But it's our money he'll be taking. He absolutely tore into our immigration system. And did you see last night, Khan, it was an iftar or something it's called, all praying in Trafalgar Square? If that's not a symbol of what's going to happen, I don't know what is. I thought it was a bloody disgrace. How many mosques have they got? Why do they need to do this? It's given over an image of supremacy. That's what it's about. And Khan, the mayor of London, was leading it. Let's have your views on that. Do you agree with Trump dragging Winston Churchill into it? And I suppose it comes to this, because Trump is saying, you've all lost your backbone as a nation. Is he right or is he wrong? Now, you might not like Trump, and I know a lot of people don't, but here's the actual uncomfortable question. Is Donald Trump saying what most British people are thinking, while Starmer still just doesn't get it? It's going to be lively. Strap in. Let's have your opinions now. Right, I'm going to come to them now. Your views, please. So you got the agenda, yeah? Right, I've got to go back to all these ones here. Well, I'm just people saying, hate to be that guy, John. This was Jake earlier, but I can't hear you. Are you on Facebook? I'm going to swap. Yeah, I'm on all the channels as normal. All the favourites are saying I can't hear you. Graham Fletcher says no sound. You should be happy, you being such a lefty liberal. Right, let me get down to where we need to be. Yes, we can hear you now. Right, great. I don't need anybody else to tell me you can hear me. I could lip read you, John. You were solving the peace in the Middle East. Lol, says Jake. You're taking the peace. Right, let's go. Rosseth, 22. Simple answer, yes. Starmer is killing the UK. Absolutely. This one, David Mitchell. No one. We need to drill for oil and gas sooner than later. Yes, of course. Why won't they do it? It's as if they want to make us freeze so somehow they can exert even more control over us. You won't be able to afford the bills. That's what I've been trying to say to people today. This is why it's important to support Donald Trump with warships. Steve Thatcher says, yes, John, drill, baby, drill. Trump is right. Millibrain and Starmer are anti-British. Do you agree with that? Pamela Millett, a regular, she says, he's also Starmer's had to seek advice from his cabinet to make any decision. He's also said that. Yeah, he has. But that was the other day. This is today's attack, Pam. Try and keep up if you can. Trump has got him in the crosshairs. He's not going to let Starmer out of this one. All Starmer's decisions are totally wrong as usual. Absolutely. David Mitchell said, we're all going to be praying on a Friday very soon. It feels like that. I just think it was wrong. It's typical of Khan, though, to make the big gesture in Trafalgar Square. Thousands of Muslims praying. Police there calling it all off. Why? Why do they need to do that? It is acting as if they're somehow superior to other religions. Well, they're not. And this is why they're pushing for this anti-Islamophobia law, isn't it? We can see what's going on. And what Trump is saying today is, get a bloody grip now, otherwise you're going to lose your country. He's also saying, I ain't going to give you any more money or any troops. I'm not going to support NATO if you keep on going down this route. Well, do we want to be isolated like that? I would suggest we don't. Let's take some more views. Trump's right. Starmer only has the depth of about 1 millimeter. He has to go. You're right. I've stood in deeper puddles than Starmer. What about Ed Miliband? I agree with everything you're saying, but what the devil are we going to do, says Rosemary Whittington. Well, did you see Miliband? How he got so aggressive at the weekend when somebody dared, it was Laura Kunsberg, dared to criticize his green policy. Look, we all want to be green. We all want to save the planet. But we also don't want to freeze in our beds, do we? We don't want to be in that position. We're a great country. And not only that, we've got oil in the North Sea. Why aren't we taking that oil out? We've also got coal. Why aren't we digging the coal out? Let's open some of the mines again. I know it'll be difficult, but we can't be dependent on bloody windmills, no matter what Ed Miliband says. Pamela Millett says Khan is an Islamist first and foremost. Then he's the mayor of London. Well, I don't know about an Islamist, but he's certainly a Muslim, and that's very important to him. And then Pam has also just donated £10 on a super sticker. Thank you so much, Pam. It's really, really appreciated. If you'd like to donate some money, please just press the little $sign if you're watching on the YouTube channel, and you can donate anything you fancy. A couple of quid, 3 quid, 10 quid, 100 quid, whatever you fancy. You get your name up in lights. The other thing as well, you could go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt, and you can donate there as well. Your donations are really important to keep these podcasts going. And the way this country's going, we need more and more independent broadcasting. Do you agree? Anyway, so we're up and running now. So we're talking about what Donald Trump has said today. And I know a lot of people don't like Donald. Put your hatred to one side. He has hit an essential truth. The two big issues, well, 3 issues really. Cost of living, but that's absolutely connected both to the illegal immigration problem and to the oil problem now and the Iran war. We need to be more sufficient in our own energy. Miliband is such an idiot. He's going to see the central core of what he's saying. I agree with. We need to be more independent and fuel independent of other countries, of course. But his solution is windmills. Windmills that when they do work, they produce too much energy and we can't use it. And when they don't work, and then when you get rid of them, they're an environmental disaster. The guy is a complete and utter arse. But he's got something on Starmer, because Starmer is basically a leader, but only in name. And Starmer won't back Trump. And we now got it's Starmer against Trump. And the problem is Trump will win every time. Because if there's a war with anyone, we will need the backing of the United States of America. Do you agree? It doesn't mean we have to do everything that Trump says. I mean, I can even see the argument that people have saying, well, we don't want to get involved in that war. I personally think that's wimpish myself, because if we don't get involved, if we don't, and we've just killed another one of the Iranian sort of top brass, if we don't get rid of them, they're going to start attacking here. They're even attacking their Arab neighbors. They don't give a shit. 20 terror attacks linked to Iran. So it has got something to do with us. And I don't know about you. I don't want Britain to be turned into a caliphate. I don't want women to have to wear the burqa. I don't want women to wear the burqa now in Britain. God, are you allowed to say that, John? Don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Unfortunately, John, my colleagues keep working head down. It's nothing to do with them. Trump's a monster. Farage is far right. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Well said, John. Keep fighting them, because it's people like them. They are appeasers. And when push comes to shove, they go on and on. I love these lefties at the moment. Terry Christian, I employed him once. He's a classic. He is. The moment working class kids start getting killed, it'll be, body bags, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. But if they got killed by a terrorist, what are you going to do, Terry, in Manchester, in the arena? Shall we all sing Kumbaya and don't look back in anger? Bollocks to that. We've tried it. We need to stamp on this cancer now. Get a backbone, Terry, for goodness sake. Phobia is a fear. We don't fear it. We just don't want to put up with it. No law broken there, says Craig Tonkin. I like your logic. So do we get blamed for climate change? What happened in the Ice Age? Yeah, okay. Let's not get distracted into a stupid conversation. I agree with you, Dennis, by the way. But let's not get involved into a conversation about man-made climate change and the rest of it. Miliband's a fool, right? And now we're in a crisis. I think we're in a full-blown energy crisis. And we need to take emergency measures. Because I'm telling you what's going to happen. In a matter of weeks, despite the £53 million that Rachel Thieves said she would use to subsidise your bills, that's going to go nowhere. They reckon it's about 35, 45 quid a household. Isn't it? The bills are going to rocket. A lot of people on fixed terms on their bills at the moment with the gas and lecky. That'll stop in July. What's happening at the moment in the Straits is all those tankers can't get through. That's a bottleneck. So what will happen? I mean, you've got to give it to the Iranians. Brilliant war planning, in a sense. Just like Maggie with the coal miners, the way she stored all the coal before she took them on again. But it's not going to work in our favor, is it? The price is going to go through the roof. And then you've got to think about the knock-on effects. Look at the price of petrol at the moment. It's already getting to 140, 143. It'll soon be £2 a litre. People won't be able to run their cars. People won't be able to get to work. We've already got companies going bankrupt because they can't afford the energy. We've got the most expensive energy costs for industry in Western Europe. This is what Trump's talking about. Meanwhile, we're letting this invasion of fighting age men into our country, all with their hands out, and all of them, mark my words as well, they'll close the bloody hotels by giving them all permission to stay. There'll be a de facto amnesty for the ones who are already here. But also, don't forget, it isn't just the flip-flop warriors. It's all the others and the other ways they're getting in, and the overstayers, the students who aren't students, the students who bring 28 relatives with them. This isn't about racism. It isn't certainly not about fascism. It's simply saying it's unsustainable. The number of people coming in is unsustainable. And we don't need them. Because they're not rocket scientists and doctors and nurses and what other shit they come out with, right? They're not. Just like they're not all rapists and serial sex offenders. Although I note there's 3 more on trial at the moment for multiple oral and the other form of rape of a white British girl. Starmer's playing Russian roulette with all of us. And it was bad enough when it was just the flip-flop warriors. But it's now with energy. People are going to start losing their jobs left, right and centre. We're going to have it's going to be so bad next winter if we don't change course now. It'll make the winter of discontent. Do you remember that when the dustbins were... I'm sorry, I'm not talking about Birmingham here. The dustbins were overflowing. We couldn't bury our dead. Do you remember all that? Under surprise, surprise. It was under Labour again. That's what's going to happen. We need to take action now, which is why we should support Trump in escorting ships through the Straits of Hamas or whatever. Humus, I keep calling it. But we've got to get the ships through. We've got to get the oil. And I love this thing as well. I've had loads of lefties. Oh, Trump just wants to get their oil. So, who would you rather have their oil? Trump or the Iranian mad mullahs? Just a question. I say we should bring back the king, the Shah. Right, he's gone, but his son, he should come in and they should try and form democratic governments. And of course that means regime change. And here's the next thing I want to say. I actually believe that Tony Blair is to blame for most of this. Tony Blair and his lies, and I was caught up in them, about Iraq has turned us into a nation of wimps, appeasers, pussies. When people say to me, oh, you're going to send your daughters to war, I mean, they're too old anyway, but it's such a banal and stupid point to make. It's like when people say, oh, my son's in the army, I don't want him to die. Well, I don't want him to die there either. But he did join the army. He did join the armed forces. Imagine if this was the eve of the Second World War. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, no, I know Hitler's a bad bloke, but I ain't supporting him. I ain't fighting him. No. It's not affecting us yet. And also, I don't understand that logic. Seeing Zelensky today in the Houses of Parliament begging for more money and them giving it. Starmer had already given him the money before he came and addressed Parliament, and they're all clapping him like seals. Look, Zelensky is taking us for mugs. How come it's okay for your kids eventually to go there? It's a peacekeeping force. I've said this for ages. And shed blood. Why should we do that? But the liberals who are against Trump because they hate him, they've got this visceral hatred for Trump, they don't want a few of our sailors to go and escort our tankers for us to get our oil. Well, I'm sorry. When they signed up, that was the job. Goes with the territory. And it's not as if they're all going to get bombed. They're not. But the liberals who then say, I'm not patriotic. I've been getting accused, this is the funniest bit, of being unpatriotic. Me. By libtards who, in between selling the socialist worker, have decided that I'm some kind of Nazi. Anyway, let's move on. Dennis Spinks, we've got enough coal to last hundreds of years, John. Correct. And that's where Maggie Thatcher was a disgrace because she wanted to win the political argument. Do you remember she brought the coal in from Poland and from Australia? No coal, no gas, no military defence. It's all gone to shit. Yes, you're right, John Booth. Thank you very much indeed for your comments. Richard Pope, we should open up Door Mill again and create more jobs. That was Door Mill open cast. That was in Bedworth, wasn't it? Because we had several mines around here. We had Kersley as well. Kersley, did you know that mine went all the way under the city centre, under the new cathedral and everything? It's huge. It was just ridiculous to close the mines. But Thatcher and Scargill, there was fault on both sides. They both got into who's got the biggest. And I think Mrs. Thatcher had, by the look of it. By the way, there's only 5 likes. Come on, you've got to smash the like button. I need the like button. It helps the algorithm. Where are we going next? We're going to go to this one. Jackie Ward, one of my regulars. I don't understand how Millibrain can think that us importing oil and gas is in any way green. If we're using oil and gas, it has to be our own. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. We should be drilling. And as for Starmer, he just hasn't got a clue about anything. Trump could teach him how to respect his own people in their own country, unlike Starmer, who seems to put the Islamic religion first. Jackie Ward, thank you very much indeed for your comments. Oh, look, Jim Garfield, what a top man you are. Just donated £10 on a super sticker here on YouTube. He says, thank you, Jim, for your donation. Much appreciated. In Leicestershire, recent immigration is so high, the city council can't meet its build obligations. The county councils have taken on this demand for payment. Our villages are expanding beyond all recognition. Well, get used to it, Jim, because I read a report yesterday that 40% of all new housing that's going to be built in the next 10, 15 years is going to be just for immigrants. That will only satisfy them coming in. I'm not having a go at them. I'm just saying this is why border control, having sovereign control, this is what Brexit was about, or was meant to be about. You're not a country if you haven't got borders. You've got to have control. But, of course, that's the other thing that's happening today. Whilst Zelensky is begging in Parliament and being given the money by the idiot Starmer, Trump is going mental, saying you should bring some of your ships to help us get the oil to keep us all in work and keep us in warmth and keep our country running so the lights don't go out. I mean, I remember when there used to be the electricity went off at 8 o'clock. Do you remember that? Dreadful times. But whilst all that's happening, Rachel Thieves was putting forward her proposals for how we've got to get closer to Europe again, i.e., Starmer's favourite entry, of course, the back door back into the EU. That's what they're doing. Did we vote for that? Was that in the manifesto? Would they have ever got elected if they'd said that? No, they wouldn't. So the wokerati, the cultural Marxists, they think they can get away with all of this at the moment. And meanwhile, people are going, oh, Trump, I hate him. And the amount of people say he's a rapist, he's this, he's that. None of it has he been convicted of. But they think it's okay to call him out. These are the be kind people. The same people who had a go at the bloke, John Davidson, who had Tourette's, who used the N-word, which isn't a nice word, but he couldn't help it. He's got Tourette's. Watch the film and educate yourself, you bunch of ponces. There must be something wrong with the like button. There's only 5. It hasn't gone up. Anybody ever go? Push in the like button and see what happens for me. Craig Tonkin, we need liberation from a tyrannical government. Americans will be our saviour. We as a nation should stand together. It's East versus West, as the West need desperately to stand together. It's not going to happen, Craig. Oh, no, I'm not fighting in that war. No, I didn't join the army to actually fight. What about my poor kid? Putin, he must be laughing his duck off. And China. I can't believe what this nation has become. I just can't. Starmer's only interested in the EU and the Confederation of the Willing. What did he call that? The Coalition of the Willing. Coalition of the fucking useless. He believes he has standing in Europe. Yeah, he does. He thinks he's a great world diplomat. Trump has finally seen what the majority of this country has seen since 2024. I agree. I will just say to you, it ain't ever going to go back. He's wrecked. Starmer has, by making that first mistake, when he refused, when Trump said, can I just use your airfields, your air bases? And he said, no. That has obviously really annoyed Trump. This is why and that's the kind of bloke Trump is, so he keeps coming back to it. It's like when your mum says, don't pick a scab, what do you do? Don't squeeze your spots, what do you do? That's what he's doing. So there is no special relationship now. It's over. It's over. Now, we all know Starmer will be out of office, hopefully in May, if not before. But how are we going to rebuild that trust with the American people? Because it isn't just Trump. Like I always say to you, think of, what's her name? Roseanne. I used to love that program. Think about a family like that in the middle of America. Why should they be paying for the defense of Europe and paying more than Europe's paying? And that's what Trump tapped into. And he's right to do so. Loads of Americans never, ever leave America. They don't have to. They've got everything on that continent, haven't they? If they want to travel, go skiing, go surfing, go do whatever you want. It's used against them, of course, because people like to say all Americans are thick, which clearly they're not, right? But I think Trump's right when he says you can't have people just coming in, living separate lives. That's why he's been so hard on getting rid of the illegals. And we're going to have to do it. That's where your man, Rupert, I've been reading more about him as well. I've got to say, I've been reading more about him. He's interested. I don't agree with everything he says, and I don't think he'd be able to pull most of it off. But somebody's got to do something. My daughter tried to get a doctor's appointment. It's in 2.5 weeks' time. That isn't what we want, isn't it? And why aren't we training more of our own doctors? The whole thing is completely and utterly fucked up. Jake Morton Brown, this isn't a plug-in, John, but feel would be good to say some of your listeners, if they have a blue light card, they can get a free SO fuel card and get 3 to 7p off a litre on petrol and diesel. No, that's good. That's a good tip to other people. And is the card free? Thank you, Jake. Jake says get an SO card and you get a bit of money off your petrol. I appreciate your help, Jake, but we shouldn't have to do it, should we? We've got our own oil. We've got our own coal. We've also got a navy, well, sort of navy. They're itching to go. I saw these naval boys today on the telly. They can't wait to get there and do their bit. Just like they couldn't wait to get to the Falklands and do their bit, which doesn't mean kill people. That's why all these liberal... I've got so many ex-retired civil servants. And I love it because they ever go at me and they go, you're nobody, you're useless, you're this, you're the one who got the sack. And then they haven't bothered to find out why I got the sack. I've been looking after kids. But anyway, they have a right go. And I just answer back saying, have you forgot your medication? Or I say, what have you ever achieved in your shit, boring life? Huh? As a civil servant or an art teacher or whatever it is. I look up what they are. I'm not having a go. I wouldn't normally be superior to people like that, but I just think, how dare you? How dare you? I've run businesses. I've been on major TV programs. I know how to get people going. I know how to communicate. I've written books. Oh, yeah, I'm just a big fat see you next Tuesday, according to these morons, as they pick up their government pension. And they're all about 50. They've all got slap heads, but about 50, they've all retired. Because us mugs have paid for their bleeding pension. What a wonderful world this is. Drill, baby, drill, says Ken Jones, 8574. Thank you very much, my friend. Listen, if you'd like to help out the podcast, the first thing to do is to join or subscribe to John Gaunt TV on YouTube, right? Go there now, have a look. John Gaunt TV. A little pop-up comes up saying, would you like to subscribe? It's free. So say yes, because then you get on the virtual email list, right? So that's that thing. It's not even email, is it? YouTube tell you when I'm doing a show. The other thing to do, if you want to give me a few quid to help these things keep going, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt, and you can buy me a coffee or a beer, whatever you think I need. And then the final way is just to press the little $ here on YouTube. Now, though, you can donate on Facebook and on all the other things as well. So have a look at that. But if you could help me out, that would be brilliant as well. Tony Whitworth, 3246, says the mask is off. Angela Merkel, who flooded Germany with third world men, admits it was votes she was after. Says it was to stop the AfD party. Correct. UK governments played the same card. Far right replaced by imports. Well, it wasn't far right, was it? But yeah, I understand what you're saying. And also, Angela Merkel, when she let them into Europe, because we were part of the EU, they could get to Germany and then they could come here, which is what they did. So, yeah, her and Blair. But don't forget Boris Johnson's part in this. He let in 1 million. So it's not just Starmer. I just don't understand why one party, well, I suppose they're coming now, people like Farage, people like Rupert Lowe, they're now saying, no, we're going to stop this. I was just going to say there'd be a shoo-in. Well, they will. That's Jim Garfield and the donation he made. Anybody else want to make a donation? If you do, please do it now, because I'm going to stop in a minute. Dennis Spinks, I fail to see any legitimate reason to come here anyway, John, given the cost of living and taxes draining our money away as fast as we can earn it. It's scary. Yeah, but these people aren't coming to work. These people are coming on the choo-choo on the gravy train, aren't they? Because they think it's El Dorado, and we don't do anything to deter them. As I keep saying, you need to deter, which means close the hotels. You need to detain, which means you need to put them in army camps behind barbed wire and not let them out to rape our girls or kill them with a screwdriver. Did you see that as well? The lady who got killed 21 times, she got stabbed in the head by some madman who was in the hotel where she was working. Anne-Marie, isn't it? Anne-Marie White, something like that. He hasn't even bothered to go to see her, Starmer. He's not even bothered to go. Mainly, I suppose, because he's concerned that he might be called a wanker, like he was in Southport. Do you remember when he ran away? And then he called us all far-right thugs. What a country. Paul says, drill, baby, drill. Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much indeed. Christians aren't allowed to pray on our streets or to have group meetings. That's an interesting point, Nat. You often see Christians getting arrested, aren't you? Don't you? But all the Muslims, they can all just suddenly kneel and start chanting, and that's okay. You couldn't make it up, could you? Why are we chucking money at France, who are shagging us? Says Craig Duncan. I agree, Craig. Pam Millett saying, oh, the like button says 34, John. What, on YouTube? Oh, it must just be on my screen. Sometimes that happens. Mine says 8 now. So I was getting depressed. But I won't now, Pam. I'll snap out of it. And thank you for your donation, by the way. Yeah, my daughter's gone. She's off to Italy working. I'm looking after the dog. He was great today. I got in, and he's a big dog. He came running down the stairs to see me. And he loves this thing where he grabs your hand. It's a bit scary if you don't know him. And he puts your hand in his mouth. Right? Doesn't bite you. It's just his way of saying hello. Excuse me, I've got burps now. Hiccups. There we go. Stating the obvious when asking if Starmer and Labour idiots are killing Britain, says Andrew Dunn. Yeah, you're right, Andrew, I am. But I've got to ask some questions, haven't I, to get you to join in. Conservatives stopped all training of our own people, including doctors and nurses. Correct. You're right, Pam. And they made everyone good. Why do nurses have to go to university? No disrespect to nurses, but my auntie Rosemary, she was a matron. You learn on the ward. That's the way to learn that. But I think even mechanics, they go to university. What's wrong where we used to have the Butts Technical College in Coventry and you'd have day release. So you'd work, there'd be I used to be dead. My mate Chris Dickey, he ended up being a top record producer. He lives in Australia now, but he worked at the Renault chain. They made chains. I don't know, for cars. I don't know. I'm not practical, am I? But he worked at the Renault chain. Got an apprenticeship, left school at 16. He was in a band as well. He was in a brilliant band called God's Toys, which were fabulous. They should have made it big, but they didn't. They nearly did. But anyway, he was an apprentice. He earned a fortune once he qualified. I got loads of the mates like Colin became a plumber. Got another guy now lives in Australia as well. Colin Heens, this one is, became a chippy, runs his own business. He's still watching me on YouTube. You can afford to send some dollars. Had an American asking yesterday, how do they contribute? Well, the best way is probably go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. But you can do it on YouTube because it takes all currencies. Yeah. I call them cockwombles, John. Never done bugger all in life but talk a load of BS, says Annette. Thank you, Annette, for your contribution. Right, great show. Going to stop now. Got to take the dog for a walk before he eats my arm. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm here all week. I'm here all week. It sounds like about the Glasgow Empire, doesn't it? Yeah, but I'm here all week, so I'll do another show. And the lighting's okay, isn't it? I just messed up the sound. The lights are fine. I do like this backdrop. It just looked like my daughter's got a beautiful house. Well, it is a beautiful house. But she's into all this. She's into, what's it call it? Self-sufficiency. Not so, sustainability and all that, yeah? And she eats really healthy. So it's good that she's away this week, so I'll be down the Chinese and down the Indian. Don't tell her. And don't tell her mum, by the way. Please, though, if you like the show, tell all your friends about the show. Let's keep spreading the word. Don't rest on your laurels. I apologise again for the show having no sound at the beginning. That was really annoying because I did it better the first time. But I hope you've enjoyed the show. And don't be taken in, because what they're going to do now, and this is the problem with Starmer, he's going to use the war and his non-participation in it as a way of getting re-elected. He's a disgrace. He's an absolute disgrace. Night from Adrian from Gloucester. Thank you, Des. Thank you very much for that on YouTube. Reform Council, Kent County Council, are aiming to declare a national emergency due to the migrants. I wonder if it'll do anything. No, they'll just use the courts, Jake, and they'll close that down in some way or another. I see George, whatever his name is, at Warwickshire County Council. They had a vote of no confidence in him because he's got the temerity of being a reform councillor. He's 19, but he won by one vote, so he's still in power. So we'll see what he gets up to. Jackie Ward sent 3 hearts. Thank you very much indeed. And Dennis Spinks says, enjoyed the show, John. Thanks. Well, thank you, Dennis, because without you joining, it'd be no good. Richard Pope says, great show, John. Keeps us sane. I don't know about that, but thank you very much indeed. I'll be back tomorrow at 6. Tune in if you can, but don't forget, if you do miss it, you can always watch it later. Don't forget, it's all on YouTube, so is the whole archive. Don't forget, you can download podcasts if you're walking the dog. I don't do that. I like silence when I walk the dog, but there we are. It's all whatever floats your boat. And I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hey, don't forget to tell them you love them. Thanks for putting up with me tonight with all the technical problems. Cheers, bye.